This episode is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing. Can you outlast the AFTV crew? Step up or step out.
AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date. Your players will be linked with a transfer move to Arsenal.
Welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. I'm actually over in Paris at the moment, so hence the change of scenery. Having a couple of days over here. Listen, big up to all of the fans that I met yesterday. I was down by the Eiffel Tower yesterday. You've got to go to the Eiffel Tower, of course, if you come to Paris. And met so many Arsenal fans down there. It was unbelievable. French Arsenal fans. Who support the club from here in France. And it was funny, there was one guy came up to me and he was going, "Robbie, what's going on? What's going on?" I'm thinking, what do you mean? I'm thinking he's talking about injuries or stuff like that. He goes, "I can't believe how many players that Arsenal are signing." He goes, "This is like, it's just weird, it's strange." I know, I was like, you know what? It's true. This time last year, I think it's a year to today, that we signed Mikel Merino. And you know, the window in the end last year turned out to be a bit underwhelming. We didn't get the striker in we wanted. What turned out to be the disastrous loan for Raheem Sterling. But this window seems so much different, so much business being done, and we're still doing business, even though we've done a lot of business, and we brought in Eze and all these sort of players. Arsenal still looking to do business in this transfer market and really moving in the sort of way in which we've wanted to see Arsenal move in years, and they are finally doing it. Just before I get into the transfers, don't forget Final One Standing. I'm actually gonna go for Manchester. I don't know why. But I'm gonna go for Manchester United this weekend to beat Burnley. They got Burnley at home. Surely they're gonna get 3 points on the board. So Man United to beat Burnley. That's my pick for this week. If you want to get involved, go onto the William Hill app. The link is in the description. Terms and conditions apply. You can win up to £500,000. If you haven't already been in the initial stages, there are private leagues and there are weekly draws as well. So you can get involved in those where you can do your picks. It's really fun right now with me and the guys. And remember though, terms and conditions apply. You must gamble responsibly. You've got to be over 18 and based in the UK or Ireland.
You lot are always in the comments saying that we don't know ball. Well, now it's your chance to prove it. We've partnered with William Hill to bring you Final One Standing. The rules are simple. Pick a Premier League team every week. Win, you stay in. Lose or draw, you're out. But you can only pick each team once. It's free to play. You need to have a William Hill app to play, so scan the QR code on the screen or hit the link in the description below to get involved. 18 plus, UK only. Please gamble responsibly. Terms and conditions apply, and full terms are in the link below.
Don't worry if you get knocked out. There's new games with new jackpots every Premier League week.
Let's see who's the final one standing.
Links in the description or scan the QR code on the screen. Now, as I said, transfers. Piero Hincapié, that's the one that Arsenal are trying to get done now. They're trying to get him over the line. Kind of came out of the blue, this one yesterday. But Arsenal are pushing hard to get this deal done. The sticking point right now is the money. It's always the money, right? But that's the sticking point right now. Bayer Leverkusen are trying to insist on the release clause, which is £52 million. Arsenal would like it to get it done for around about 35 to 40 million pounds. The player himself wants this move, desperately wants this move, has actually spoken to the club and said, listen, forget about the release clause. I've given you guys a lot of good service. This is my dream move. Please facilitate this move. There've been a lot of clubs interested in him. He's a very, very good player indeed. Can play as a centre-back, also can play as a left-back, and more naturally a left-back than, say, a Jakub Kiwior. Very combative player, and Arsenal have identified him and they want him. There's a lot of teams that have been interested in him, but this deal continues to sort of progress on at the moment. Nothing done yet, but Arsenal really pushing to get this done. And the reason why they're pushing to get this done as soon as possible is that Jakub Kiwior, of course, is leaving Arsenal and is heading to join Porto over there in Portugal. Now, a lot of rumours going around yesterday that there was a private jet ready to take Jakub Kiwior over to Portugal to seal the deal with Porto. Deal said to be worth around about £22.5 million. There is also rumoured to be some sort of sell-on clause in there as well. That means if Porto were to sell him on to another club in the future, Arsenal would get a percentage of those sales. That's said to be rumoured to be in the deal. But at the moment, they can't conclude this deal because they've still not concluded the deal for Hincapie from Bayer Leverkusen, and that is what's holding up the deal for Kiwior to go to Porto. They don't want to leave themselves short, Arsenal. This is wise. This is the thing to do. You don't want to just move the player out and then you're left with a player short. And we saw how important Kiwior was last year for Arsenal. Even though he didn't start week in, week out, he was a very important player in coming in and covering, and he did that brilliantly towards the end of the season. Remember him playing in the Champions League. The fee though, 22.5 million. It just goes to show the tax when it comes to players from the Premier League. Hincapie from the Bundesliga, £52 million release clause, and they're trying to insist on that. Jakub Kiwior, 22.5 million. A guy, he's played in the Champions League as well. He's a Polish international. Just like Hincapie's an Ecuadorian international. Is there a major difference between the two? But the fee. These teams in Europe, they put these release clauses in place and that a lot of times because they know a player could be heading to the Premier League, and the Premier League teams have got the money to pay it. So work to be done on that one, but I still expect those to get concluded before the end of the transfer window, which of course closes on Monday, the 1st of September. Arsenal also trying to bring in Luiz Benedetti from Palmeiras over there in Brazil. The 6'6" centre-back. We're buying a lot of centre-backs at the moment. But this guy is more of a prospect, 19 years of age, really, really highly thought of and sought after as well. Barcelona, one of those teams looking at him. Now, Arsenal have said to have bid 10 million euros to try and get this deal done. However, Palmeiras looking for 15 million euros, so still work to be done on that deal as well. But again, Arsenal trying to progress that one to see if they can get that done as well. Now, of course, a lot of players are going to be leaving, hopefully, for Arsenal before the end of the transfer window. One of those is Sambi Lokonga, who hasn't figured for Arsenal at all this summer, neither in any of the friendly games or any of the Premier League games. And it's I spoke about this on Monday. Trabzonspor over there in Turkey, they want to get the deal done. Now, apparently, they have an agreement in place with Arsenal and Lokonga to get this deal done for him to join them before the end of the transfer window. It looks like it's going to be a loan with an option to buy, not obligation. A loan with an option to buy. Lokonga really wants to move and is set to move before the end of the transfer window. And of course, there's quite a few young players in the team that Arsenal are looking to try and see if they can move on before the window closes as well. This was reported yesterday by Gunner Blog, who says that Arsenal are trying to send on loan Maldini Kakori, Charles Sago Jr. and also Ismail Kabia. Kakuri is 19, Sago Jr. 21, and Ismail Kabia 19. All of them prospects at Arsenal, all of them youth team players, but Arsenal would like to send them all out on loan for them to get more game time, more experience. So see, those guys you could see go out on loan before the end of the window. And of course, there's Reiss Nelson still at Arsenal, still in talks at the moment with Fulham about a move there before the end of the transfer window. So still lots to happen before the window closes. Remember, we keep you up to date with everything here on AFTV. Whether I'm in Paris, whether I'm in Timbuktu, you're getting transfer daily, right? So don't worry yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.